17 points, but Russell Wilson still fighting his favorite target, DK Metcalf.
Don't call him DJ, he's DK. Big ball on that in-breaking route, physical receiver, great finish at the end.
Later in the drive, they're playing without Chris Carson. This is DJ Dallas who takes it in, so they make it a 10-point game. What does Buffalo have for an answer? 3rd and 16, and they go into John Brown.
Don't zero blitz if you're not going to have a corner somewhere near a receiver or pop out. Buffalo's done this like 5 times this year. Easy pitch and catch, screen out to the perimeter, big play for this Bills offense.
They would eventually score on a 1-yard run, so it's 34-20, and then it's Russell Wilson, and he's back to throw, and Russell Wilson was picked twice.
Just trying to force it, find something to happen on 3rd and 25, or make something happen. Really nice job by Tre'Davious White of just sitting in his zone, getting that interception.
And so, Rex, what does that set up? It sets up Josh Allen taking it himself.
Here he is, one of the best players in the league, Josh Allen. I think he is the best red zone quarterback in the league.
Knock that one in. It's 41-20, and then Russell Wilson strip sacked. So he has 2 fumbles and 2 interceptions, does Russell Wilson. So 4 turnovers for him. Josh Allen throws for 415 yards, 4 total touchdowns on the day for Allen, and a statement win for the Bills. This is now a look at the division. Bills in first place through 9 games. Dolphins, and we're going to get to their game coming up, very much within striking distance. Patriots and Jets obviously bringing up the rear. They will go head-to-head tonight. But let me let Rex finish up or pick up on that thought. Josh Allen, you have been singing his praises as long as I can remember.
Right.
What did you see from him yesterday?
Well, he's healthy. Like everybody, he's not that good. Wait a second. He played with a separated shoulder. We've seen other quarterbacks tap out with a separated shoulder. In this, I don't even want to say, but the Jets still have a chance. I saw that playoff thing.
Okay.
But come on, Josh Allen's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. All he's done is what we thought he would do. He's gotten better and better and better. And Brian Daboll, what a job as an offensive coordinator he's done. He knows what he has. He's got, to me, the scariest guy in the league in the red zone. And that's where you win games, the most right there. He can run it in. I mean, you can run quarterback power with this guy. And he's got a great arm in there. We've all talked about the numbers. I mean, I think he's turned the ball over 1 time in the red zone in his career. So the guy protects the ball. He's got a bazooka for an arm. And he's just a huge man, similar to Cam Newton in a running game. So, to me, that's why I think this team is scary.
RC, this game felt very much like a statement game for the Bills. What statement did you think they made?
As a team, no statement. This is a good football team. You expect them to play this way. Josh Allen, a huge statement. Josh Allen showed up. Josh Allen was standing across from the person that was the presumptive MVP, at least this far throughout the season, and he was big time. He was better. He made more plays. He protected the ball. He was more clutch. He was smarter in situational football moments than Russell Wilson, and that's not necessarily something you come into this game expecting. Listen, if you watch Josh Allen play against the Tennessee Titans, you go, oh, that's just, 1 bump in the road. It's not a big deal. He's playing at an MVP level. And then you see the Kansas City Chiefs game and you go, okay, this kind of starting to look a little bit like old Josh Allen. And then you go into the next week against New England and they win, but he's still not great. You go up against a very bad defense and you treat them like you should. You slap them around and you abuse them like really good quarterbacks should. And that's what we needed to see from Josh Allen. Be more physical. Use your legs. Make big throws. Get big plays down the field. And he did that. And defensively, they made enough plays. They made plays on the ball. They had 2 forced fumbles. They had 2 interceptions. And when you look at this game, they made Russ cook. But the problem for Russ is he doesn't get to cook at home. He's not cooking for a leisurely dinner for Rex Ryan and for Dan Orlowski and for Mike Greenberg. Right now, with that defense, when Russell Wilson's cooking, he's on Chopped. He's on the Iron Chef. He's on whatever one of those shows you could go on and people could taste your food and tell you that you can't cook, you're awful, and you should go home. It is a pressure-packed situation every time Russell Wilson drops back because the other team will score 40. And so for me, the Buffalo Bills did what they had to do, but this was about Josh Allen getting back on track, and I agree with what Rex said. You have the best red zone quarterback in the league, and he showed it yesterday.
Dan, you made a statement that sort of raised my eyebrows in our meeting this morning about Buffalo.
I think they're the team that's most equipped to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. 3 reasons why. 1, to beat the Chiefs, you have to be explosive on offense. You just have to create big explosive plays. You know who's number 1 in the NFL in explosive plays on offense? The Kansas City Chiefs. You know who's number 2? Buffalo Bills. The second reason would be this. You have to have a quarterback that can go above X's and O's. You know, like, you're going to get good play calls from a lot of different teams. You better go above X's and O's, because sometimes the defense is going to make a good play, a big play. Can you kind of create on your own? And then the third thing would be this. They got a really good coaching staff. Yep. Brian Daboll looked at that game and said, you know what, Seattle's pass defense, not very good. We're going to throw the ball a bunch. They threw the ball, I think, every first down. Every first down yesterday felt like they were throwing the ball. Stephon Diggs is great. Leslie Frazier was outstanding with his defensive plan. I think the Bills are the best and most equipped team to beat the Chiefs.
Statement win for them. They are the leaders in the AFC East. Much more from the NFL as we go, but I want to take you through what was a very impactful college weekend. Among the things that we saw, some notable streaks coming to an end. How about Indiana snapping a 24-game losing streak to Michigan, winning for the first time in that rivalry since 1987. It was tied for the second longest active losing streak against any opponent in the FBS. Florida beat Georgia in another battle of ranked teams, ending a 3-game skid in that matchup. 44 points, most against the top 5 team since the Sugar Bowl in 2010. And then the big one, Notre Dame over Clemson in double overtime. The Tigers entered on a 39-game regular season win streak, including conference championships, that come to an end. We knew going in it was maybe the most impactful game of the entire college season. Here are Heather Dinich and Paul Feinbaum. So let's start with this, Heather. What did that loss mean for Clemson and their chances of making the college football playoff?
They're still in this thing, Greeny. Look, I think what we learned from Saturday is that the ACC has the potential for 2 top 4 teams. They have to avoid any upsets for the rest of the regular season. I think they can do that. Brian Kelly has stressed that repeatedly. But it's not just the ACC, it's the SEC too that has the potential. Look, the SEC can state a case if Florida, which took the lead in the SEC East, runs the table and knocks off Alabama in the SEC championship game. You can have 2 SEC teams in the debate with the College Football Playoff Selection Committee. So the field got more crowded.
Yeah, I'm getting a phone call right now. It's from a Columbus, Ohio area code saying no matter what happens, you're not putting 2 teams from both of those conferences in under any circumstances. Paul Feinbaum, it is a statement of fact. It's not an opinion that Brian Kelly had never won a game this big. He had never beaten a top 5 team. What does this win mean for Notre Dame and for their coach?
Well, it gives him far more credibility than he had. And once you get that off your resume, Greeny, you're in good shape. He's done a nice job there, but he had not done that. Back to Notre Dame, though. Yes, they win the game against Clemson in Charlotte on December 19th. They're in. But it's going to be a fascinating debate. What happens if Clemson wins that game? And they'll be favored. And then you have Florida upsetting Alabama, which will be the #1 team in the country. Ohio State is going to be in. We don't need to worry about that. Nobody needs to be calling from Columbus. But then you're going to start debating. And Heather knows more about this than anyone. But if Florida beats Alabama, they'll have a win over the #1 team and a very good loss against Texas A&M, which should be very close to the top 5 or 6 at that point.
So we have a fascinating month ahead of us. I have one more question for each of you quickly. Paul, we heard Jim Harbaugh, after losing to Indiana, say he feels his team is getting closer. What are we seeing right now for Harbaugh in Michigan?
Closer to what, Coach Harbaugh? It's not over for him yet, even though I know a lot of pundits are saying that. He's got. We think he has Wisconsin this weekend. We'll find out in a day or 2, or maybe today. There's Penn State on the schedule. There's Maryland on the schedule. But I think he's going to have to beat Ohio State at the end of the year, which he's not going to do, by the way, to have any credibility or salvage his career. I mean, he is leaking oil badly. Even if he hopes to get out of there and get an NFL job, what's happening over this past weekend did not help, Greeny.
Yeah, that was a really, it has not gone well there, to say the least. And you touched on it, but Heather, tell everyone why this is such an important day today in the Big Ten.
Well, Paul is right. Another announcement from Wisconsin on their status is expected today. They appear to be emerging from their COVID-19 outbreak. We'll find out, hopefully, if they can play at Michigan this week. But they have to win, or have to play every single remaining game on their schedule just to qualify for the Big Ten Conference Championship game. So they've got to get it done.
That's correct. They've had 2 games canceled. They were scheduled for 8. You have to play at least 6. So this is a critical day for Wisconsin.